Alright, on the other side of the greenhouse, I've got some of the smaller plants. This is a Violet de Bordeaux. You can see it just has a extensive amount of brabas on it. It's actually pretty surprising the pure number of brabas that it's got. But they seem to be growing strong, and they should produce this year. For the most part, the brabas never taste as good as the main crop, so I'm not real concerned with if they ripen, although it is a nice, break to get something a little bit earlier, midsummer. This is the Nazarte that I got from Col de Dama. It was Nazarte that I got from UC Davis. It's a brava crop only here, and it never really grew all that well last year. It's surviving. I don't think I'll get any brabas out of it this year, so probably not too much to report on this one until at least next year. I've got one Celeste. For as much as this is seems to be a fig that grows about anywhere in the United States, in the Northeast here, it doesn't seem to do all that well. We're going to let it keep growing. I didn't take great care of it last year, so it's kind of just a for fun fig. I don't expect too much out of it here. I have a small Flanders cutting that I had taken last year and rooted and kind of neglected, and it's holding on and survived the winter in one of the coldest parts of the greenhouse, so that says something for it. Let's see, what's this guy back here? This guy I left a little too close to the vent on the greenhouse when it was cold one night, so it's a Violet de Bordeaux. It got a little bit of freeze damage, so we'll see if that comes back. I've got a few of them, so I didn't take as good of care of as I should have. Kind of neglected it. We'll see if it comes back from that frost damage. Alright, now here's the other Col de Dama Blanc that I was telling you about. You can see this one, it was definitely a stronger grower, and probably would have been even better if I had taken the figs off of it last year, but I wanted to try them. So, high expectations for this one this year. No brabas on this guy either. Alright, this next one, it looks like it's time for a new tag. You can see these silver tags are good, but they do tend to fall apart. So this is a Mission, Black Mission from UC Davis. Again, just kind of another for fun fig. Don't plan on doing too much with it. I'll probably plant it in a pot and just let it go. Not too concerned with it. Here's a Desert King. This is a braba only crop here in the Northeast without the fig wasp. Don't think I'm going to get any brabas off of it, although there's one spot that looks like it might have a braba or a leaf or something popping out, so we'll see. In the back there are a couple of more of those Nazarte figs that I grew. I was testing out the cold hardiness of it as a braba crop just to kind of see, and I think out of the 3 or 4 that I have, or 4 or 5 that I have, only 1 or 2 survived, so it's not real cold hardy. This is an MBVS that I moved outside from my office just to see how they would handle a little bit of the cooler weather. You can see it really hasn't handled it all that well. Between a little bit of, I think, cold damage and a little bit of sun damage, even though these leaves are new, it just doesn't seem to be doing all that well out here. So I'm going to hold off bringing my inside figs out for a little bit longer, I think. Let them grow, get a little stronger, and see how these do out here. Behind it is a Fico Bianco. This will be my 2nd year growing it. You can see there's a little bit of either sun damage, or, it might be because it got so warm in here yesterday too. I mean, it did get up to 110, but definitely a little leaf damage on these guys. Might have to get that fan hooked up earlier than I thought. Got another Black Madeira here. This is the UC Davis cutting that I got last year. This is one of the 2. The one is still in the office and is about 1/4 of this size. This one's putting on a little growth, so maybe this will be the year that it takes off a little bit. You can see the FMV is pretty strong on it, so it's not the healthiest of growers. Behind it is an Osborne Prolific, another 2nd year fig. Haven't gotten any figs off of it. This will be hopefully my 1st year with no brabas on it. Okay, this is a Melanzana, and it is a water-hungry plant. I don't know if the potting mix I used on this is just a little bit different or what, but You can see the leaves are kind of droopy. It's almost constant with it. No matter how often I water it, the leaves seem to be a little bit droopy on it. I'm not sure if it's if it's looking for something in the soil or what, but it just can't seem to make it perfectly happy like you would expect to see with upright growth. So behind that is another Desert King, and you can see this one has a breba on it, but I'm not sure that stem is going to survive. Not really sure exactly what happened there. I don't know if it was cold damage or, again, if it got too warm in here yesterday, but it doesn't seem like that tip's going to make it, so I'll probably end up losing that breba. We'll see. And lastly is my Flanders. The Flanders is in one of the coldest spots in the greenhouse and doing pretty well. It's got a whole bunch of brebas popping out on it. Does look like they may start to drop, however. You can see they're kind of wrinkling up a little. Some of them look real good, and other ones are starting to look a little brown and wrinkled, so they may drop. And I did have one more down below. It's another Black Mission that I got. It was a tissue culture that I got, I don't know, probably 4 years ago. And this is just a small cutting off of the tissue culture that I'd gotten. The original plant, after 3.5, 4 years, never produced a fig. So I took a cutting off of it after the first year and said, well, let's see if this one will produce a fig. And so far, this hasn't produced a fig either. So, looking like it's, I don't know, not a big fan of the tissue culture figs. Cuttings seem to really be the way to go. But that's about it. A little bit of lettuce, trying to get some salads going. And that's about it for now. Hope you enjoyed.